and talk about what I had said. Um, yeah, the system is very rigged. The system is crazy because just listening to her story about how, basically the girl ran. This is what I got from the videos. But please, I encourage you to look at them. I think that's the second or the third to last video of her running away again. That's the most current situation. Now, the first time she ran away, the first detective from the video from the vlogs now didn't do anything. Like she stayed over there a whole, I think it was a week, I want to say, and the detective just kept telling Jazzy, don't go over there, don't say nothing to the lady, do not try to attempt to say anything to her child. Just let the police handle it. So as a mom, um she tried to get, you know, help because the detectives wasn't doing nothing, ACS didn't do anything, like nobody was doing anything. So she apparently um not intentionally, but and yes, my hair is wild because I took it out from the appointment. It doesn't matter, whatever. It is, what is it, like 8 o'clock at night. Nobody's seeing me. But she intentionally tried to reach out for help and unintentionally leaked the lady's address. So when she did that, the lady filed harassment charges against her. You're holding my minor child, but you get to file harassment charges against me? How does that work? Like, so if I'm holding your child captive in my house, you're telling your child to come home, and I'm allowing your child to stay in my house, I get to file charges against you? So anyway, so um she ends up getting the child back home because they caught the child, I think her daughter. They caught her going somewhere or something like that, and they arrested her and they brought her back home. Okay, she put out something called a pens warrant. I'm from up north. I know what it is. It's basically if you get caught, you know, um the second time as a minor, you get caught running away, the police is to immediately escort you back to your house. Like, it's no, oh, you go to the precinct or whatever. Why? That was a weird question. um, I'm Miss Jackson. But yeah. So anyway, so the police um have to escort her back home. So she's like, you know, I don't understand why they couldn't just go in there and get her. So the second time it happened, and Miss Thing, you know, decides that she wants to run away and just run out the house, the detective's like, oh no, ma'am. We're not sitting around and wait for the child to be, neglected, abused, or whatever. We're going in there and we're going to get her, and I'm bringing her home. So the second time she did it, the detective went in there and got her and brought her home. Well, Miss Thing didn't like that. She ain't like that at all. She was like, "Oh no, I want to go live with my boyfriend, and his mom said it's fine, so I'm gonna do that." So with my situation, my daughter did the same thing. She manipulated the system. These kids can manipulate the system these days, and that's why so many of these parents are getting overwhelmed and they're getting frustrated because you have to almost cater to your child. Like in some crazy ways. I'm not talking about, providing the necessary things like food, water, shelter. You're supposed to do that. But I mean, like, as far as them being able to tell you, oh, I don't, I don't like who you with, like that type of stuff. That's what my daughter was saying at 8 years old. She was saying, I don't like your boyfriend. Now that she's been neglected and abused, it's a whole different other story. Not from the system. They could care less. Like the lady looked, y'all could look at some of my other lives, but the lady in the courtroom looked at her and said, "Okay," and they don't care. But she realizes, oh, I shouldn't have did what I did. Yeah. That stuff's in the store. And it's so bad where I had to like do some things to fix her life. And I'm not gonna say what. And it has nothing to do with where she's at or anything like that. No. But I had to fix some situations in her life. Like she was running away. Same thing. She was running away to the boyfriend's house while she was with her grandmother. And you think her father cared? Hell no. Her bio father said, okay, Aunt, long as she's not with you. This is his exact words. Aunt. And I mean, it got so bad that her grandmother decided to bring her stuff over to the boyfriend's house. The mom is calling me and she's like, I don't know what y'all got going on, but your mom just came here with her TV and a little bit of noodles as food. But I'm gonna need more food for Nevaeh if she is to stay here. And I didn't say that she could. Because just like she said in that video, everything gets old. Everything gets old. You eating a food gets old. You taking a shower getting old. You going out and coming back in getting old. When they got a whole nother mouth to feed, you getting old. Mm-hmm. And see what the mom used to do is when the vet come over there, she would get money from my mother, her grandmother. And when that ran out, she called me and said, "Hey, I can't afford to feed your daughter." Well, why is she over there? And trust me, this is all on record. They didn't care. They didn't bat an eye. But soon as she came down here, oh, she's a missing person. She got to go back to her grandmother's house. Well, she wasn't even at her grandmother's house before she got here. She was at the boyfriend's house because that's where the hell we picked her up from. Yes, the grandmother made a police report, said Nevaeh was at her boyfriend's house. You think she cared? Hell no. The only reason why she made a police report is because her bio dad realized that I could take her from her grandmother if she's allowing her as a 15 and 14-year-old child to go live with some boy who's just as old as her. You two minors, how the hell y'all gonna take care of each other? And this was what was going on. She was running away. They didn't say anything. The police brought her back to her grandmother's house and dropped her off there and didn't say two words. And told her if she run away again, oh well, call us back and we'll come and bring her back. That was it. They didn't put her in juvenile. They didn't give her no, another foster home, nothing. Said if she runs away again, call us and we'll bring her back home. So you telling me that if my child runs away from a home that y'all placed her in, said was suitable for her, and runs away to the boyfriend's house, the foster parent don't even want to pick her up from the boyfriend's house. Oh yeah, she would not pick her up. She said, I'm not picking her up. The police had to get her boyfriend to go pick her up because they said, we're not a taxi service. We can't go pick up the child. You have to pick her up. That was the only way. And then on top of that, she had to call her bio dad to go give him some money so he could go pick her up. The police did nothing. They didn't call ACS back out there and say, hey, we have a child that's running away and the grandmother can care less. Absolutely nothing. So when she's saying that the system is messed up, it is. The system is messed up. Because explain to me how that happens. How is it that a 13-year-old girl can run away and stay in somebody's house? That person comes to the door, lies to the first detective, tell them that she's not in there, and get away with it. She lied to the second detective and said she's not in here. The second detective got a warrant, bust the door open, went in there and got the child out, and she's still not arrested. Then the mother of said child that ran away got to face an ACS case because this child, who obviously, is a manipulator, is, telling fibs, because she said she wasn't at the boyfriend house either. She was at the aunt's house. And the aunt said she ain't seen her since, the last time at the holiday party. So she ain't been there. Is able to tell ACS or CPS, just for the National, Child Protective Service, is able to tell them that she was abused by her mom. That's the reason why she keeps running away and she doesn't want to go home. ACS then has to look at her, tell she ain't been abused, okay? Then still has to go out to this woman's house to investigate. From someone from a little child who just told the police that she wasn't at the boyfriend's house where they caught her and brought her to the precinct. Hmm. It it seems really rigged to me. It seems like something isn't adding up. But a child who's saying that she wants to come home, who's saying that she was abused in a essay sense, like I said, I'm not going to say the word, but in an essay sense, is told that you can stay with your grandmother. We don't care that you was abused. We don't care that you was neglected. We don't care that the charges that you brought against your parents was unfounded. We don't care. The criminal charges now was unfounded. We don't care about that. Stay there. We don't even investigate the SA. We say, "Oh, you lied about